Priscilla Connors from the University of North Texas. We're here today at the home of chef instructor Jody Duryea to see the effects of time, temperature, and pH on edible plant pigments. These edible plant pigments are phytochemicals, or non-essential substances found in our foods that give us health benefits beyond those of the basic nutrients. Shall we see if she's here?
Come in, the door's open.
Hi!
Hi, Dr. Connors.
We're really looking forward to doing some experiments. Are you ready?
Ready.
Hi, Chef Duryea. Thanks for inviting us into your home.
Thanks, Dr. Connors. It's a pleasure having you here.
Would you like to tell us what you plan to do with the vegetables today?
Sure, we're going to start with green vegetables, and that's your chlorophyll. And we just have some examples of those vegetables. So this is just your basic jalapeno, of course, and then you have your green bell peppers. They're zucchini. Now zucchini has both the chlorophyll on the outside and then inside it's white, so it would be a flavonoid.
So a multi-purpose plant.
It's a multi-purpose phytochemical bonanza. And this is your kale, and again this has both your chlorophyll and your carotenoids as pigments. Even though the dominant one is chlorophyll that you see, but when you go through, when you're actually underneath that layer of chlorophyll is the orangey pigments, the yellow pigments. When you cook kale, you always want to remove the stem. That stem is very woody, lots of cellulose, very chewy. So when you want to just cook the green part of it. And then we have here some really lovely collard greens. And again, your collard greens are great examples of chlorophyll.
That's really large.
So what we're going to do first is check our water and make sure it's neutral. So I put the test strip in, and just for a second, and you can see it turns to the 7 pH, which is neutral. From here, I'll take the vinegar, and we're going to do about 1 ounce of vinegar per quart of water. And hopefully turns to about 5 pH, which is a nice acid level. And then we take baking soda and use about a tablespoon of baking soda. And again, a quart of water. And that comes out to about a 9 pH, so a nice alkali solution. So from here I'm going to put in a good handful of the sugar snap peas. And I'll start the timer for 2 minutes. Hopefully they should come back up to a boil very quickly. From that point, you already can see how initially when they enter that boiling water they turn a nice bright green. If you compare it to the ones before they were cooked. With chlorophyll, generally what should happen with an alkali is they actually turn a nice brighter green. And there are some people that will use that a little bit of baking soda when they wash their lettuces to make it a brighter green. The downside to it is that the alkali will actually start to break down the fibers in the vegetable and they become mushy and soggy. With your green vegetables in an acidic water, what tends to happen to the chlorophyll is it leaches the chlorophyll out and they start to turn grayish green. So that's 2 minutes. I'm going to set it for an additional 6, and I'll take some of so you can see that the alkali stayed a nice bright green. Wonderful root vegetables, like you said. I love parsnips especially, and they're just like a carrot. Just peel lightly and use in the same manner. Turnips also you want to peel before you use them. Onions, of course, are an excellent example of white flavonoids. And then we get into our purple vegetables, which are, as we saw earlier, beets, blueberries, red grapes, and plums are an excellent example of
nice looking plums.
They are nice looking, aren't they? So for your cauliflower, the way you cut up cauliflower, you always want to sharpen your knife first. Not sharpen, but straighten the edge a little bit. And the best way to approach a cauliflower is to start on the back and just cut it in half. And then you cut that in a quarter. And then from here, it's pretty simple to just remove that core. And then you simply want to cut them up into little florets. You can break them apart, you can cut them up. So since the blueberries are going to be coming in direct contact with the baking powder, which is an alkali, they're more likely to have a reaction. A little bit of cinnamon sugar on top, just for looks. And these go right in the oven. And for our second batch, I'm going to demonstrate how to keep that baking powder or baking soda, whatever your leavening agent is, from coming in direct contact with the flavonoids so it won't make them change colors. So instead of putting all the flour in, I reserve about half a cup of flour. And then again, I add my sugar, my baking powder, salt, mix it up a little bit. I'm going to take my buttermilk, my corn oil, vanilla, add my egg, mix that up a little bit. And again, since this is the basic muffin method, you really don't want to mix it too much. You want to keep it really simple. Just pour it all in. One of the big things people do is they mix it too much. This should be almost like the pancake mix when you make pancake mix, and it tells you should still have lumps. Same here. So once you have it kind of coming together, you can still see some batches of flour, but pretty close. You take this flour, and I already washed my blueberries, and I put it into that flour, and then I want to toss them in that flour. And by coating them, hopefully we'll keep that baking powder